Non-standard maps was the best thing to happen to Rocket League since passworded lobbies. Changed my mind. So today we're going to talk about Rocket Labs or non-standard maps because it is an important issue and it's not getting enough attention and I like slapping my knee. So for those who don't know, if you're really new to the game, non-standard maps is essentially what it says, you know, it's non-standard maps. They're basically maps that aren't just a rectangle on a pitch like every other map. They've got some sort of quirk to it. The ones that came out that were textured and modeled and everything was Wasteland, Starbase, Neo Tokyo. Is that it? Was there only 3? So yeah, other than that, there was a bunch of Rocket Labs maps. Rocket Labs is essentially really dark, plain maps that Cilit released that they haven't textured or anything, but they released it to the public so that they can play test it, and then if it gets like really good reviews, then Cilit textured it and made a map out of it. So there's loads. There was like Double Goal, we called it Retropia or Utopia Retro, Pillars, Cosmic, and like Neo Tokyo and Starbase and all that. They were Rocket Labs maps first, and then they got textured because they were good. So now you know what they are. What's my thoughts on all these maps? Well, I love or hate them, depending on the map. So I loved Starbase. Loads of people hated Starbase. I don't know why. Everyone kept saying the bouncers were weird. Like, it's just a wall. How do you think it's gonna work? How do you deal with, you know when it hits the corner wall on a standard map, right? How do you deal with that? That's just the same as Starbase, except that there's longer and there's just a bit more of them. It's the same as that. It's just a bounce. It's just comes out and goes off the same angle pretty much. Like, it's I don't know why people, whatever. I hated Wasteland because it was basically a standard map. It's just there was a little bit of a, you know, a curve. So it meant that you're so used to just dodging really quickly to get speed, but you end up just hitting the ground because it curves upwards. Oh, it was so stupid. And like little bounces would go inwards, so it was like this tiny difference that really pissed me off. And the whole walls were curved as well, so it wasn't like any other map. It was a bit crap. Neo Tokyo, I was up and down with that. I used to love it, then I hated it, and then I love it again. It's a bit of a weird one because some of the bounces can be like really hard to read when it's in the corner, like on the ramp area. But I don't know, it's alright. I think it's like in the mid-range. Starbase is definitely my favourite. I love Starbase. But yeah, I know a lot of people don't like these maps. They get a lot of bad rep for various reasons. Typically just because, you know, it's really difficult to play on, Neo Tokyo map with the ramps, or it's just there's things in the way, so it gets kind of annoying. Cosmic's the worst for this. Cosmic was great on Battle Cards. I love Cosmic. That was a Battle Cards map. But for some reason, in Rocket League, it's just really annoying. Because you want to shoot the goal, right? And then it just hits the ramp in front of it and bounces up, and it's like, okay, great. The prime area for scoring in front of the goal, there's a big freaking ramp in the way, so it just gets really infuriating. And it's just, yeah. So yeah, I get why, you know, a lot of people don't like them. And that's fine. In every poll I've seen, and in every discussion, it's typically like 80, 70%, something like that just don't like non-standard maps. It's crazy. There's just so many people don't like them, and it's kind of shocking. But let me tell you why they are great. The idea of non-standard maps is great, but I don't believe that there is a non-standard map yet that has truly captivated how good it can be. Including all the Rocket Labs maps, including, you know, Starbase, that's great, you know, Starbase is good, Neo Tokyo and that. None of them have captured the perfect way to create a non-standard map. The closest is Starbase. Starbase is the closest to doing this, which is why it's my favorite. The best way to make a non-standard map is to maintain the muscle memory that everyone has. So you have a normal pitch with bounces that, you know, are familiar because you haven't got some curves or anything like that. And, you know, it's you don't have to adjust like you would on Wasteland, where every bounce on the ground pretty much goes in the middle like that, and it's just stupid. But you design the map in a way that forces a player to have to rethink their strategy. You know, you've got loads of different ways of creating plays, right? You can infield pass, you can clear it to your teammate, hit it off the backboard, just go for a little dribble, force a 50-50, you know, all these things, right? But the idea is, in a standard map, you can pick any one of those depending on the situation of your, you know, whatever your teammates are doing, whatever your opponent's doing. But if you have a map that forces specific styles of strategies more than others, then that's the best way to make a non-standard map, because you can already do the different strategies, right? Like when you play the game enough, you have a great arsenal of strategies you can use, right? If you make a non-standard map where you have to use one strategy more than the other, it forces certain players to be better on certain maps or prefer certain maps based on strategy, but everyone can still play it because they can all do the strategy. It's just where your strengths and weaknesses lie. And there is one map that can bring about this newfound glory to non-standard maps, and it's Stadium. Stadium is a battle cars map, basically like a hockey pitch. It's just a normal pitch, but there's gaps behind the goal. That's it. That's all you need. You just need to change one aspect. It's not a big change, but it's great because it stops backboard passes being so effective. You no longer have to be on the backboard to defend quite so much, and it forces a bit more play in the middle where you have to do proper infield passes. Also, there's a viable defensive strategy to keep the ball behind your own goal. A lot of people have been saying that this is why your Stadium wouldn't work in Rocket League, because it's so hard to get behind your own goal. The Psyonix devs, right? They made a tweet saying they've tried out this map and it just doesn't work in Rocket League. Now, that's all well and good, but I'm sort of long past trusting Psyonix at this point. I don't believe it would be that bad in Rocket League. I think the reason why it works in Battle Cars, that a lot of people say, is because you can slam it really hard. So it's a lot easier to get the ball out from behind your own goal. But honestly, I think it will be fine. At a high level play, right, you can dribble it out. You go up your own the ramp of your own goal, so you can even go up there, or, you know, up your own ball and air dribble out sort of things, right? At the high levels, at the lower levels, because the opponent's offense isn't quite as good, it means it's easier relatively to smack a ball off your own, smack a ball off your own backboard and just hit it hard, get some weird pinch out, and it's harder for the offense to maintain pressure because they're not quite as good. So it balances out throughout the whole skill levels. Now, there is a Stadium map on the Steam Workshop created by South, and it's good because it's accurate to what Stadium is, but it's just incredibly broken. Probably due to how hard it is to make a mod or a map in Rocket League. The mod support is awful in Rocket League. Probably, I think, because it's Unreal Engine 3 and not 4, and Psyonix don't really care too much about making mod support. They don't have a high priority of it. But even in that broken map, despite the fact I couldn't hit the ball on any wall because it would just go straight through it, I found it pretty easy to just dribble out from behind my own goal and flick it away or hit it away. Now, I know there's no opponent, so it might be a lot harder, obviously, but that's only one strategy I'm using. I'm not even using going up the wall or anything. So I think it will be fine, honestly. Regardless, it's 100% worth a try. Now, if there was better mod support, or someone really, really wanted a Stadium map and they just found a way to, get rid of all the bugs, then we could all try a Stadium map. It's worth a try, right? Stadium is the greatest. Stadium is just worth a try. It's worth a try, I think. So Psyonix don't make any more non-standard maps. They announced a while ago that every map was just going to be standard from now on, and the esports standard was going to be normal maps, and everything's just normal maps, but just different, themes. You can still play the non-standard maps in private lobbies and everything. That's all still there, but they're not going to make any new ones. This was kind of annoying when I heard it. It was kind of upsetting, but I understand 100% why they did it. The majority of the players just didn't like non-standard maps, and I guess that's just what it is. Now, because this was a while ago, it might just be time to reintroduce non-standard maps. It's not gonna happen. I can tell you that right now, it's not gonna happen. But because non-standard maps were introduced really early on in the game, when a lot of players didn't know what they were doing and it was a lot harder to play, they struggled on non-standard maps. Understandably, it's a lot different. You got a lot more things to work with, especially when you don't have a map like Stadium, where all the mechanics are the same and all the bounces are the same. It's just you adopted a little bit of a different strategy. But players are a lot better now. Across the board, from every rank, they're just better. And I think they may be better equipped to deal with non-standard maps. So it might be worth giving it a try again. I don't know. I still think the majority of people dislike non-standard maps, and that's fine. But I'd be interested to know what you guys think. So comment below what you think about non-standard maps, if they should come back, if they all just suck, but the potential is still there. Let me know. It'd be great to know what you think. So yeah, in summary, I love non-standard maps when they're done well, but I get why Psyonix stopped making them, because pretty much everyone hates them. But they should return. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the flip side. Tactics.